Afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible. We'll start in a minute. Let others join. Hopefully, people would join and make it slightly thick. Okay, let's begin. See, the first topic, as you can see, is Azamgarh Proclamation. So basically, we were in the second part of the chapter. And in this part of the chapter, we are going to talk about what all things happened once the revolt began. So before this, we saw which all areas, the revolt had happened. So here, the first area that we shall take is Delhi. Here, Azamgarh Proclamation was done in the name of Bahadur Shah Zafar. Now, guys, before the break only I told you Bahadur Shah Zafar is your king. So in his name, at this moment, a proclamation was given in a newspaper called Delhi Gazette. Double E will not be there. Now you will say, what is this proclamation all about? Dekho, you all would see when the elections happen, political parties come up with their manifestos. In the manifestos, political parties promise different things to different people. So this Delhi Gazette was also like a manifesto. And in this manifesto, basically, they were promising things to zamindars, soldiers, and to commercial classes. Now, all of you can understand. You are doing a revolt. You need the support of more and more people. That's why zamindars, their support was needed. They were said their rights were guaranteed. Now, please understand, what are their rights? Please remember last week's class, we said that zamindari was alienable. Today it is yours, tomorrow it may become somebody else's. Here they are saying, don't worry. Once we are giving you the zamindari, it would stay with you only. Just a second. So zamindars, their support was needed. So they were said, zamindari is guaranteed. Soldiers, they were promised that we will give you attractive pay. Pay means attractive salary. We are going to give you very good salary, because remember, we have seen one of the reasons for this revolt was that there was a salary discrimination between the Indian and the foreigner, your outsider, I would say, person's salary. Same work, but their salaries are different. Commercial classes, that means the businessmen, they were promised that you could use the government steam vessels. You could use the government steam carriages to carry important merchandise. That is, government will give them their own ships, which could be used by them, and they could take these ships and sell their products all over the world. Everyone, am I clear with Azamgarh proclamation? If anyone does not know, Azamgarh is present day Uttar Pradesh. It's a district in UP. In northern UP, there is a district called Azamgarh, and there, please remember in whose paper, in whose name, and what has been promised to different sections of the society. Now, I want you people to simply remember this. Delhi, Bahadur Shah II, also known as Bahadur Shah Zafar, and General Bakht Khan is his commander in chief, started the revolt in Bareilly and came here and was leading the revolt. Similarly, Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal, she is the wife of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, and Birjis Qadar is their son. Kanpur, Nana Saheb, last Peshwa, Bajirao's II's adopted son. Similarly, commercial class means the businessman era. Please see Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai. Similarly, Jagdishpur, Babu Kumar Singh. He was a zamindar. Your NCRT has mentioned the name of Khan Bahadur Khan. Please remember his name. Similarly, Faizabad, remember this name. And amongst the Britishers, the important names are Hugh Rose, who defeated Rani Lakshmibai, and Sir Colin Campbell. He was the commander-in-chief of the British Army at this point. Everyone, am I clear here? Which all names you must remember? These two slides, I cannot teach you much. You will have to remember some of these names. Anyone from Delhi? In Delhi, you will find a lot of these places like Hudson Lane and all. In North Delhi, you have Outram was very famous person in those days. So you will have to remember these names on your own. Yes, I will definitely tell you few stories here to make the thing slightly interesting, though I don't think UPSC would be that much interested in the stories, but still, if they ever ask you, you should be in a position to know this. For example, Delhi. Now, as I told you, 12th May 1857, the revolt or the revolters came to Delhi. Who was appointed the king? Bahadur Shah II or Bahadur Shah Zafar. Now, all of you think Delhi is a very important town. So the loss of Delhi was seen as a very big slap on the face of the Mughals, Britishers. That's why they wanted that somehow they should be able to capture Delhi. And by 20th September 1857, Delhi was recaptured. All of you tell me, what happened to Bahadur Shah? When Delhi was recaptured, what happened to Bahadur Shah? Guys, Bahadur Shah, along with his wife Zeenat Mahal, his wife's name is Zeenat Mahal, they were sent to Burma. Burma is modern day Myanmar, in Rangoon, and they died in 1862, humiliated, sent to exile. Of course, his sons, they were killed at a place called Khuni Darwaza in Delhi. His all sons, his family members, they were killed, but he was sent with his wife to Rangoon. Now, just to give you an idea, guys, one reason why we lost this revolt, some people say, was Bahadur Shah Zafar. People say he had a very, very weak personality. Some say his old age was another factor. Some say his lack of leadership quality. Now, those who attended the first week's class, did we not study that the Mughals at this point of time, they were living on pension? Guys, who gave them pension? Who was giving the pension to the Mughals? The British, of course. Now, you all think this man who was more than 80 years of age at this moment, he was basically what? This man who was more than 80 years of age at this point of time, he was basically on pension right throughout his life. He had never ever seen any leadership quality. So, in his view, what he did was, when the soldiers appointed him to be the king, they forced him, literally forced him, that no, you will have to become the king. He was like, okay, fine enough. So sometimes he would act as a king. He would like that, no, I should definitely do enough to defeat the Britishers. Another time he would be like, I cannot do much at this point of time. He would be talking to the Britishers that, see, tomorrow if I'm arrested, please be lenient on me. So all these reasons, many people, they say these were the reasons which led to the defeat of the Indians at this point of time. Everyone, am I clear? All of you? Delhi is clear? His sons were killed after the revolt was crushed, of course. After the revolt was crushed, his sons were killed. Similarly, Lucknow, also known as Awadh, you all have studied Wajid Ali Shah has been removed on charges of maladministration. Now, guys, his wife is Hazrat Mahal, who will lead this revolt in the name of their son. His name was Birjis Qadar. Birjis Qadar. Now, guys, you all think Hazrat Mahal is fighting because the husband has been sent to exile. Wajid Ali Shah was sent to Calcutta. Anyone? Anyone here from Calcutta? Anyone here from Calcutta? See, if you are not from Calcutta, not a problem. Somain is there from Calcutta. Somain, study on your own, just for your curiosity. What Wajid Ali Shah did in Calcutta when he was in exile. You would be very amazed. What was he doing? Just for nothing important for exam. Just I'm telling you. So Wajid Ali Shah's wife, he was, she was leading this for her son. Here the revolt began in June 1857 and they killed some Europeans. Fight began, and everywhere, please be very clear, everywhere the end result would be Britishers will defeat us. So please understand, there is no doubt about that. Each and every place, ultimately, the last thing would be that even though we would fight very, very valiantly, but the fact would be that we would be defeated at the end. So here, for example, Colin Campbell, who was the commander-in-chief of this army, he came with his Gurkha soldiers, and by March 1858, revolt was crushed. Now, anyone from Lucknow here? Anyone from Lucknow? Yeah, Nikhil, you are correct. See, in Lucknow, there was a battle of Alambagh. In that, she herself was fighting. Yuvraj, if you have this Alambagh in your Lucknow, in that place, she herself fought in the battle, sitting on an elephant. There is a postal stamp issued in her name. So that was done here. Assisted Nana Sahib in the battles, and after getting defeated, escaped to Nepal, where she died later. She moved to Nepal because Uttar Pradesh, just northern side, you have Nepal. She moved to Nepal and there she died in those days. Very, very valiant fighter, very valiant person in this revolt. Now, if I take another, for example, let's say, and this slide will be very crucial. Let's take example of Nana Sahib, also known as Dhondu Pant. Now, what I told you, his pension was stopped. Please, all of you see, his pension was stopped. So, he participated in this revolt. Guys, his envoy was Azimullah Khan. He even pleaded before the Queen. He went to London, pleaded, requested. I'm telling you, you never know if it comes in exam. Mostly should not come, but there are facts which I'm telling you. Dekho. See, again, I'm telling you. The way UPSC is going, nobody can predict what they will ask. My understanding is we should be fully prepared. And guys, I'll tell you very frankly, unfortunately for you people, and my sympathies are with you, UPSC is eliminating elimination techniques. So the days are gone where we would know something and would get the answer by, eliminating one or two options. Now we need to know every fact. So you never know what they will ask. So right now, if you ask me, after this year's prelims exam, I am now in the mode that I am asking the students that please don't think whether it is important or not important. You never know what UPSC will ask. Am I clear with this point or not, everyone? The way UPSC is going on, we will have to be, You know, last week UPSC results came. Trust me, after that, I have received so many mails from the students who have written that because of this elimination going out totally zero, they have missed the prelims. And the only suggestion I am giving to them is that you have studied nicely, but now you will have to study much more deeply. With superficial knowledge, now nobody can clear this exam. If anybody plans that they will clear this exam with superficial knowledge, that's not going to happen. Your knowledge should be very, very in depth. You cannot leave any point thinking that, arey nahi yaar, UPSC should not ask this. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, let's see here. So, guys, that's why you can see now I'm mentioning even his name, Dhondu Pant. I'm mentioning his lawyer's name who had gone over there. So, you never know what they will ask you. So, Nana Sahib is leading this revolt in Kanpur. And here he is held by none other than his trusted aide, Tantia Tope. Just give me a second. Tantia Tope. Very, very important man. Very, very important man. Very brave man. Fought in Kanpur and later in Jhansi, helped Rani Lakshmi Bai. Guys, you all know, I'll talk about Rani in a minute. Just have patience. I have not talked about her. I'll tell you, but you all know Rani Lakshmi Bai got defeated. And after her defeat, he, escaped to do guerrilla warfare. Means he was hiding in a jungle and he was trying to fight against the British. Unfortunately for this great man, he was betrayed by his friend. What is the name of the friend? Man Singh. Man Singh betrayed him and Tantia Tope was arrested. Later he was hanged. Now the greatest heroine of this battle, every one of you, anyone from Jhansi here, we all know Jhansi was taken under the doctrine of lapse. All of you, we have studied now before the break. Anyone who was not there before the break, this place was taken from or taken by the Britishers under the doctrine of lapse. Now, I don't know how many of you have watched that movie. Priyanka is from there. Priyanka, tell me what was the original name of Rani Lakshmi Bai? Anyone? Can you tell me what was the original name? Yes, Dhanya is correct. Manikarnika. That's why Kangana Ranaut's movie's name was Manikarnika. Her original name, she was, Manikarnika Tambe, born in Varanasi in a Marathi Brahmin family. Now, why I'm telling you Marathi Brahmin family, there is a point here. Why I'm telling you this? Because, please understand, I'll have to change the pen. His father worked for Baji Rao II at Bittur. Getting my point? So he was working for Baji Rao II. So please, everyone, see here, her childhood friends included Nana Saheb and Tantya Tope. Bittur is near Kanpur. Please understand, here only. Bittur is near Kanpur. A small place. Anyone from Kanpur would know. A small place near Kanpur, Bittur. Now you all know. And if you don't know, let me change the pen color and tell you. She got married at this point to Gangadhar Rao, who belonged to Jhansi. And he changed the name from Manikarnika to Lakshmi Bai. Now, every one of you, you can understand, Jhansi is also basically now Maratha ruled princely state, and it is there, if anyone does not know, in Bundelkhand. So Bundelkhand, if UP you have some idea, geography you would have studied, Uttar Pradesh is divided into 4 different areas: Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand, that Awadh, Western UP, Harit Pradesh. These all different names. So Bundelkhand is the area in the southern side near Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior, Guna, and then you have Jhansi of Uttar Pradesh. So it belongs to Bundelkhand. As you can see, under doctrine of lapse, even though she had a adopted son, Anand Rao, because her own son, whose name was Damodar Rao, he died because of I don't know what reason, but his son was, yes, Kalyani, I've mentioned here. Her biological son died after 4 months of the birth, so they adopted a son. But you all know, in doctrine of lapse, adopted sons, they don't work. Initially, she was slightly hesitant, but once she gave her 100%, she became the biggest heroine of this particular battle. The biggest hero, of course, got defeated by Hugh Rose, and she died valiantly fighting in the battlefield. She fought valiantly and died in the battlefield only. She was, near Gwalior. The Sindhyas had not helped her, and she got defeated at this point of time. Guys, another 2-3 names which your NCRT has mentioned. I don't know. Anyone from Western UP, Rohilkhand? There is a person named Khan Bahadur Khan who is leading this in Rohilkhand because he was the Nawab. Fought with Colin Campbell, but then got defeated and escaped to Nepal, from where he was brought back and hanged in Dhaka. Dhaka is present day Bangladesh. Please, Rohilkhand, great Kirti is from Bareilly. The exact place which I was going to say here, in Rohilkhand, the exact place where this all happened is Bareilly. Uttar Pradesh has Bareilly in the western UP and Rai Bareilly towards the eastern side of it. So the Bareilly Western UP side, it is Khan Bahadur Khan. He had almost an army of 40,000 soldiers because he was unhappy with his pension that was granted to him. So he led this particular revolt. Similarly, you know, in Western UP only, there was another leader known as Shahmal. He led the Jats and the Gujars in the Western UP, fought against the British, cut off communication between Meerut and Delhi. Lastly, anyone here from Bihar? Anyone here from Bihar? Great, Kirti. So those who are from Bihar like me, in our place, the most important man is none other than Babu Kumar Singh. Zamindar, more than 75 plus his age is. He was a zamindar from, yeah, I should rather write off, sorry, zamindar of, he was a zamindar of Jagdishpur. Very, very brave man. His zamindari was taken away, started the fight against the Britishers, and died in the battlefield. See, Jagdishpur is near Ara. There is a district in Bihar called Ara, Bhojpur. It is that particular place where he is there. So, last point. Died in the battlefield. Very, very valiant man. Cut off communication between Meerut and Delhi, Dinesh. Last line. Those who are from Madhubani, Bhagalpur, you all would have heard about him. Everyone, am I clear with this whole chapter? Second part. See, again, it's taking a lot of line, but trust me, every important point for you for this exam is here in 2 slides. In 2 slides, I have covered everything that needs to be covered. Avni, he was trying to, surround the Britishers. So their communication lines were being cut off by him. Now, everyone, take 1 minute of yours. See, listen to me very carefully. You all have 1 minute. Don't write separate comments. One comment from everyone. You all know we lost this revolt. The fact is, we lost this revolt. So, you people tell me causes of the failure of 1857 revolt. Don't write one by one. Put all your points together. I'm giving you one exact minute. 1 minute for your brainstorming. Don't give me one point. None of you have more than 1 point. Everyone is now. Avni has got a few. Dhanya has given some more points. Okay, Yera has given good. So every one of you, if just now I give you one question, simple question, what were the reasons for the failure of the revolt of 1857? How many of you can write the 150 word answer on this? Reasons for the failure of the 1857 revolt, if this is asked in to be written in 150 words, how many of you can write that? You can write? Great. Just give me a second. Good. So now let me write the points. The first, poor leadership. Example, Bahadur Shah Zafar. Second, lack of coordination. I'm taking your points only. Third, lack of planning. Fourth, absence of Western and Southern India. Of course. Fifth one. Okay, let me see. Just give me a second. Absence of support of big rulers. Example, Sindhias. Similarly, Kashmir. They all had supported whom? They all had supported the British. Okay. Yes, you have given me that point. Give me 1 second. Educated Indians didn't support the revolt. I'll take that. Educated Indians are not here. Okay, I'll take one more point. Okay, absolutely. Money lenders and Mahajans remained on the side of British. Absolutely. Absence of technology. Example, Britishers had telegraph. We did not have that. Okay, anything else? Okay, I'll take this also. British had better weapons. Okay. Okay, here only I'll add, if you are saying, I'll write poor and inexperienced leadership for the Indians. Sneha, I'm writing no unity when Mahajans, moneylenders, they are not there. All that is there. Absence of, I'm sorry, feeling of nationalism. Everyone who is fighting here is fighting for their own beliefs. None of them is fighting for the British. Take example of Sayyid Ahmad Khan Avni. Anyone, any other point apart from these, which you think you have mentioned and I have not written? Anyone? Okay, I'll take this. I'll take this. I'm writing here. No vision for what do you say? No vision for post mutiny. I'll take that. Yes. Sneha, I have written that. Educated Indians is one social class, money lender is another. No, Kirti, that's written. That the British have better weapons, technology, coordination, everything. Danya, which point? Which point you are asking? You will have to clarify. I don't know which point you are asking. Post mutiny, that after you win the revolt, will you bring monarchy? Will you bring, the fact that what Britain has right now, that form of government will be brought? What will be the form of government? That was not clear, Sakshi. No vision for post mutiny institutions. Bhavna, I'll take your point. I'll take your point. Bhavna says Indians had less resources. Absolutely, I'll take this. Guys, give me more point if you have. I don't know if you have more points. I have written every point. See, betrayal is there, na Sayan. If the big rulers are not supporting, it is what? In some way, betrayal. If Sindhiyas are not supporting, if the ruler of Kashmir is not supporting, these are what? They are the traitors who have not supported us at this point of time. Everyone, any other point? No, Gaurav, you cannot say that thing. Civilians, we have seen they were basically involved here. Lastly, not more than 25% area, 10% population got involved in this revolt. Purva, I don't know what you are trying to say by that point. Everyone, my simple question to you would be, discuss the various reasons for the failure of the 1857 revolt. Can you write a 150 words answer? More than enough? Is this part clear to everyone? Because with this, the third part of the chapter is done. We are done with the third part of the chapter. Great. I hope you understood every point here. I hope you understood each and every point. I will show you this year's mains question tomorrow was indirectly from this. Population pile. 10% population only got involved in this revolt. Let us move to the last part of the revolt. Please see here. All of you. Karl Marx, Surendranath Sen, Sayyid Ahmad Khan, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Jawaharlal Nehru, and R.C. Majumdar. All of you, you can see, I'm bringing in front of you 6 different views about this revolt from Indian perspective. Every one of you, can you see this thing? What Mr. Savarkar is saying, the first Indian war of Indian independence, and what Karl Marx is saying, the first Indian war of independence. All of you, do you see they both are very close? Their view is very, very close. They both see this revolt as what? Fight for independence. All of you, can you both see that they both are seeing this revolt as nothing but as a war of independence? Everyone, am I clear till this point? Please understand, this portion is for means. Any one statement will be given and they will ask you to analyze it. Now see here. Marx gave the idea of Marxism, which is totally against which idea? The idea of capitalism. You all know Britain right now is what? Britain is nothing but a capitalist country. Whereas the idea of Marxism and later on the socialism is totally against this. Now you all see, if let's say tomorrow somebody whom you don't like gets a defeat in any place, how would you show that defeat? Very bad defeat. I never believed, I never thought they will be defeated in such a bad manner. So somebody who is your enemy, who is your competitor, their every small mistake also would be shown as a very big event by you. Karl Marx is doing something like that. This revolt is being categorized by him that it is nothing but the war of independence by the Indians. Am I clear, everyone? Now, V.D. Savarkar, he writes this book in 1900s, around 1910. And now he is calling it as the first Indian war of Indian independence. Now, all of you understand, you all are preparing for UPSC. You people should understand it in a much easier angle. You all tell me, what is the toughest step in the preparation of UPSC? I personally feel, I know you will write prelims, some are writing mains, some are writing interviews. I know. Ananya writes to begin. Trust me, when I was going to prepare, I was leaving a very good job of mine. Please understand. Of course, the other problems came later, but the first biggest problem was, should I leave my job and go for preparation? Living a very well settled life for something totally unknown. Now, all of you understand. V.D. Savarkar is basically telling his supporters that please, we have already fought our first war of independence. Now, whatever we do will be the second. The first thing has been done. He is basically enthusiasing his supporters. He is trying to tell them that, see, the first is done. We are going ahead for the second now. Am I clear, everyone? Now, Surendranath Sen, he is saying that, dekho bhai, in the end, it might have become a war of independence. But initially, it began as a war to protect one's religion. Remember, The cartridge story. All of you, do you remember the story? Cow and the pig fat. So Surendranath Sen's point is that maybe at the end it would have become a war of independence, but beginning it was not like that. In the beginning, it was more or less the protection of one's own religion. So if you see, if there is a graph, this extreme is Karl Marx and V.D. Savarkar. SN Sen would be somewhere here. Now, all of you, last man in this page, Sayyid Ahmad Khan. I told you, he's Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan. Adiba, are you there in the class? Are you there in the class? What did he write at this moment? What did he write at this moment? You wrote in the first part of the lecture. He himself saw this revolt. He was present during the time of revolt in Western UP, working for the British government as a, civil servant for them, Bijnor, around that. And he wrote a 6-page document, or I would say article. In English, it is called Causes of Indian Revolt. And in Urdu, Asbab-e Bagawate Hind. He says that, see, the real reason why the revolt happened was because there was some discontent. People were unhappy. People were angry with the British. Guys, when you are unhappy, when you are angry, someplace the anger would come out. And in his view, it is the Britishers who have forced the Indians to do such a revolt, because there is absolute unhappiness as far as the Indians are concerned at this point of time. Look at Nehru. Nehru, all of you see here. In the views of Nehru, look, Nana Sahib, Rani Lakshmi Bai, your Hazrat Mahal, and let's say Babu Kunwar Singh. Look at all these people. Pension was stopped. Doctrine of lapse happened. Awadh was taken under the charges of maladministration, and for Babu Kunwar Singh, zamindari was taken away. So if you see, Nana Sahib, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Babu Kunwar Singh, all these people, why did they came? They all were feudal chiefs. They were zamindar, king, queen. They participated because they were angry at this moment, because they all had lost something. Everyone, am I clear? If doctrine of lapse had not happened, maybe Rani Lakshmi Bai would not have joined this revolt. If zamindari was not taken away from Kunwar Singh, maybe he would not have joined it. If pension was given to Nana Sahib, maybe he would not have joined it. All of you, can you see Nehru's point? Nehru is saying that, see, this is nothing but a feudal outburst at this moment by the feudal chiefs. Last but not the least, this is a mains question for you people, guys. The view of R.C. Majumdar. R.C. Majumdar is saying that those who call it first national war of independence, I don't agree with them. According to R.C. Majumdar, it is neither first nor national nor a war of independence. All of you, listen here. Why it is not first? Because if it is first, then what will you call Vellore Mutiny of 1806, Santhal Rebellion that took place in 1856, even Kittur Mutiny which we saw? There are so many revolts which happened before this. So if this is first, what about them? Number two, how can you call it national when only 10% of people and 25% of land got engaged? All of you tell me, who defeated us? Our own people. It was our own rulers who went with the British at this point of time. The rulers like Scindia's, the Kashmir's rulers, our own people, they defeated us. So how can you call it national? Lastly, none of these were fighting for war of independence. All of them were fighting for their own reasons. Nobody was fighting at this moment for the fact that anybody was trying to get independence for our country. Each one of you, am I clear with this? Everyone, all of you, absolutely clear. Guys, please acknowledge when I'm asking you a very simple question, yes or no. And take this line as a question. Write a 150-word answer on this question. Have it as a question for you people. Am I totally clear? Now let us see some views. Next 2-3 slides, though it will never come in exam. Look at this revolt from a British perspective. How do the British, they see this revolt? Guys, in the next 2 slides, I will show you. The Britishers, they are seeing this revolt as nothing but Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. They are saying that at this moment, some Hindus, some Muslims who did not have any popular backing, they have come together to fight against the British. So some of them are saying that this is nothing but a war between civilization and barbarism. Of course, from their account, barbarics are we Indians and civilized are the British people. So if you look at them, they are saying that this is nothing but a barbarism and a fight between the between the civilization at this point of time. Everyone, am I clear? I'll show you. I'm again showing and telling you, not going to be asked, because their views is totally extreme. So Lawrence and Seeley, they say Sepoy mutiny. They are underplaying. They are saying, no, 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 no. It's not a war of independence. Some sepoys have come together, have done a mutiny. They are selfish people. And James Outram even describes this as a conspiracy done by the two major religions of our country. Last but not the least, you can see Rees is saying religious fanatics. Who are these? Hindus and Muslims. They have come against the Christians. Whereas Holmes is saying fight between civilization and barbarism. Please understand, these 2 slides should not come in our exam. But I have told you mainly on account of one point, that you should know the other side also, how they are projecting this revolt at this point of time. Absolutely. Nikhil is correct. The Britishers, they are trying to whitewash, the atrocities done by them by blaming this war on none other than the Indians. They are putting the blame of this war on the Indians. That's the name, Sai Babu. Please understand, it's a name. Rohit Kumar can be mentioned as R. Kumar. Short form. Everyone, am I clear with this part of the chapter? Because then I'll move to the last part of the chapter. And I hope till now you people are enjoying 1857. It's a very easy chapter. Very interesting, not much to be remembered. You can understand and then you can write whatever you want. Just give me 1 second. Let's start the last part. In one slide, I will show you this part. Please focus for the next 20 minutes. This is the portion which has given UPSC prelims question, and a lot of questions keep on coming from this section in our different exams. Number one, as a part of this whole chapter, what we just now did, tomorrow in your, I hope you people reach the interview stage and you clear that stage also. Let's think you reach the interview stage and the examiner is asking you, in your view, what will you call? Where did my pen go? In your view, will you call it a Sepoy mutiny or will you call it First War of Indian Independence? How many will say Sepoy mutiny? How many will say First War of Indian Independence? So Ananya, what will you say? Good, Abhijit. First time saw your name, but correct. Yes, Avni. Danya, then what? I think hardly 10% people, apart from them, everyone is going for either of the two. Remember, everyone, if I'm asked this question, that Mr. Rohit Kumar, in your view, 1857 revolt was a Sepoy mutiny or the first war of Indian independence, I would say that, sir, it was not a Sepoy mutiny. Why was it not a Sepoy mutiny? Because not only the soldiers participated, but the artisans, the peasants, the common people, even some zamindars, everybody participated. So in my view, it is not a Sepoy mutiny. But then, sir, I don't think it is the first war of Indian independence also. Because if it is the first, what about those which happened before them? Where are the major Indian players? And nobody was fighting for the independence. That is why, in my view, this revolt is somewhere in between these two extreme ends. It is neither the first war of independence nor it is a Sepoy mutiny. If somebody asks me, I would put the exact nature of this revolt, mutiny, whatever you are calling rebellion, in somewhere between the two extreme ends. Everyone, am I clear with this? Now see here. Let us look into the impact of this revolt. See here. 1857 made one thing very clear. What? It clearly said that EIC was merely a trading organization, and as such, it was not efficient in tackling Indian everyone. Do you understand? We have studied last week only EIC is nothing but a commercial organization. So you cannot expect a commercial organization to rule over a country as big as India. So guys, should they give independence to India right now? If EIC cannot rule India, should they give independence to us? No. Why? British government could not afford to lose India. Guys, we have studied why can they not afford to lose India. There are two reasons. One, we have studied India is a huge market, and from India they receive a lot of raw material. So in this way, they are very, very clear that they cannot afford to lose India at this point. So the best thing would be EIC rule should be abolished, and instead Crown should start ruling over India through the help of British government. Everyone, am I clear till here? Because now we have to see what changes they will bring. But at this moment, is this clear? What is the mentality? What is the idea behind bringing the crown rule as far as India was concerned? So here, impact would be both direct and impact would be indirect also. There would be direct impact and there would be indirect impact. Direct would be clearly visible to our naked eyes. Indirect would not be clearly visible to our eyes. So let us start with the direct. Okay, let's write here only. GOI Act 1858, also known as Act for the Better Government of India, was passed on 2nd August 1858, and on 1st November 1858, Queen Victoria, through a proclamation, took the responsibility of Indian administration in her own hands. Don't worry, this is only the name of the law. I'm going to teach you this now. Government of India Act 1858. That is after the 1857 revolt. The government has brought another law which was also known as Act for the Better Government of India. And of course, the Queen did a, I would say, proclamation at this point, blue. Please see here. Under the proclamation, everyone, I will ask you some questions here. She said, no state would be annexed. No more intervention in religious matters. No religious conversion by force. No discrimination in recruitment to army. Now, everyone tell me, proclamation had many points. I have taken the four most important point. My point to you is, why would Queen say this? That no state would be annexed. All of you think, why would Queen say that I'm not going to annex any further state at this point of time? Why would Queen say that? Absolutely, Rajesh, correct. Because the Britishers can see that what was the reason for the revolt. Jhansi would not have revolted if that was not taken. Awadh would not have revolted if that was not annexed. So if we don't annex, they will not revolt. Plus, all of you tell me who helped the British at this point of time? The Indian rulers only. Rulers like, the Gwalior or the Kashmiris, the Kashmir Maharaj, they helped the British. So basically, they are our friends. They are our friends. So doctrine of lapse was removed. Zamindari was returned to many. Number two, guys, no intervention in religious matters. Let the Indians be backward. If they want to have sati, let them do that. If they don't like widow remarriage, then don't let it happen. That's why you will see the speed of the social reforms became much, much lesser after the 1857 revolt. The speed which was there earlier got slow now after 1857. Similarly, even though the conversion would continue, but they would not use force for that, so that people should not get angry. Lastly, they said no discrimination in recruitment to army. All of you remember, on paper she is saying no discrimination will happen, but you will find that discrimination continued. How many of you know these points? I don't know, but see here how discriminatory these Britishers were. They said in Bombay and Madras, because the revolt did not happen, for every 5 Indian soldier, 2 British soldier. Whereas in Bengal, where the revolt happened, for every 2 Indian soldier, they said 1 British. Please make the ratio similar. You can see 10:4, 10:5. That means in Bombay and Madras, where the army did not revolt, for 10 Indian soldiers, 4 Europeans. In Bengal, on the other hand, for 10, there would be 5 British officers, because the Bengal army continuously keeps on doing the revolt. Similarly, Indians were excluded from officer corps. Now, guys, this was earlier also. This is the same now also. Earlier also, we were never given the senior positions. Now also, we are not given the senior position. That thing has continued. Nothing has changed here. We take another pen. All sensitive positions were reserved for Europeans. So any senior position will be given to Europeans only. Caste based battalions were raised and newspapers, journals prevented from reaching the soldiers. Yes, Prajwal, please see now. The whole idea is now for Bengal, there would be higher British ratio compared to Bombay and Madras, where the revolts never took place. Last but not the least, you all would have heard the concept of martial and non-martial races was introduced at this point of time. Anyone, what is martial race? Anyone, what is martial race? Nikhil, not sure about that. Guys, certain castes were told that you are Ladaku, you are born to fight, like Gurkha, Sikh. They were told that, see, you are nothing but martial races. So, Sikh, Gurkhas, their numbers were introduced, they were made much more than their population in the army. On the other hand, non-martials, those who would all the time create trouble for them, like Brahmins, they were put under the non-martial race category. That, see, you people are not born to be fighters. So don't join, army, don't fight here. Everyone, am I clear with this? Am I clear with martial and non-martial race idea? Now, all of you see here, a big thing which we should definitely know is Government of India Act 1858. Now, here two words I have not taught you till now, but you will study this. EIC abolished. So, all of you think, earlier when EIC was there, how did EIC rule? Can anyone tell me how did EIC rule earlier? When EIC was ruling on us, how did they rule? Yes, absolutely correct. EIC had their own mechanism. They used to have court of directors. They used to have board of control. Now, all of you, tell me, do you need them now? Every one of you, you tell me. When EIC is abolished, do you need these court of directors and board of control? They were abolished. But now you need some way that there would be a ruling. Somebody has to rule. EIC will not rule. Of course, that we understood. So Crown is going to rule, and they will now appoint a position called Secretary of State. This Secretary of State, he was going to have 15 members to help him, and this was called India House. They called it nothing but India House. This Secretary of State had the rank of cabinet minister. He had this cabinet rank, and the Secretary of State, because he was a member of the British cabinet, invariably he became responsible to British Parliament. So everyone, can you see? It is with British Parliament that the ultimate control of ours lie. Ultimate control of ours lie with this British Parliament. We have already studied, so I don't have to tell you. You all know that under the Secretary of State only, the Indian civil services were brought, and the exams were to happen via competition, which we have studied earlier. Through 1853 Charter Act, competition was to be introduced, and the civil services officers would come through competition. Last but not the least, Governor General got one more title known as Viceroy. All of you tell me, first Viceroy of our country, first Viceroy was Lord Canning. My question to you is, why was this new position of Viceroy created at this point? Why did the British create this new position of Viceroy? Absolutely, Ananya, you are correct. Guys, whenever there is any legislative work, Canning would be Governor General, and whenever there is any executive work, Canning would become the Viceroy. So basically, Viceroy literally means agent of the crown. Wherever, if you want another word, I can give you another word. It means crown's personal representative. Whenever the crown is not available for anything for which the queen was required, it would be Viceroy who would represent the crown at that point of time. And let me give you one very important detail, that the queen would become the Queen of India only in 1876, not in 1858. The program, the ceremony would happen much, much later. So the crown's personal representative, I always give a very simple example, like our vice president. Our vice president is vice president everywhere, but when he's sitting in the parliament, he is nothing but what? He is the ex officio chairperson of Rajya Sabha. Similarly, the same person is both Governor General as well as Viceroy. But then, when he is Viceroy, when he is only acting as Crown's representative. Last but not the least, you all tell me, EIC, all of their property was handed over to the crown. EIC's all the territory that they had occupied in our country was given to the crown. So all this is now under the territory, under the, I would say, your crown. Any doubt till this point in this slide? Anyone, please ask me. Because last one thing is left, and that I want you to be very, very clear. Some things were not visible. These were the direct impact, which was clearly visible. I'll come to indirect also. Namita, what is the last? Guys, EIC is now only here to do what? Trading. So why would they need their territories? They were given to crown, queen. She is the ruler of India. So EIC does not have any territory. EIC does not have any property now. Any doubt here, anyone? Till this point, because now the last thing, one thing about the indirect impact. Darsh, I did not get your comment. You just have joined. I did not get your comment. Guys, all of you, last point, and this is indirect results. Indirect results. First, differences between the ruler and the ruled has only increased. That is, the British and the Indians, we both have fought with each other. So invariably, our differences have only become much, much bigger at this point of time. We both won't trust each other now. Please remember, we have already studied the financial phase of capitalism. So the same point, new era of economic exploitation. Thus, I cannot see you. I can only see people joining, leaving. I can see, the questions. I cannot see you or any one of you in this class, whoever is present in the class. I cannot see you. New era of economic exploitation has also begun at this point of time. The British came up with the divide and rule policy. The whole idea was to divide the unity that existed at this point of time between the Hindus and Muslims. They wanted to divide that at this moment. They wanted to weaken that at this moment, because all of you think, why? Why do they want to do this? Because this was the biggest challenge to their rule. Lastly, before 1857, Sachin, we have studied the financial phase. Please remember, last week only we did that. All of you, before the 1857 revolt, the Britishers had great relation with educated Indians. Think about this. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, my friend, I will abolish sati for you. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, my friend, I will bring Widow Remarriage Act for you. The Britishers, they thought, oh, Western educated, intellectually compatible. Ah, great, they are our friends. But after 1857, the relation deteriorated. Reason? We studied last week. Dada Bhai Naroji comes up with the drain of wealth theory. R.C. Dutt is criticizing them for their economic exploitation. So the educated Indians and the relation between the British has now started to deteriorate. On the other hand, before 1857, princes and zamindar relation was not that great. That's why we studied, they brought what? Doctrine of lapse. The British wanted that they should annex as much territory as possible. But after 1857, relations became better. Why? Because they saw that it was the help of these princes which allowed them to rule over what? Rule over India. I'm sorry. It was these princes and zamindars who helped them in crushing 1857 revolt. All of you, I am done with your entire chapter of 1857. Prajwal. Dinesh, we studied that in our previous chapter, last Saturday, Sunday only. First point is, guys, you all think, na, yesterday during the revolt, you killed my people, I killed your people. Do you think after the revolt, we both would have, assurance about each other? No, the differences have only become much bigger. We both are worried about each other. We are apprehensive about each other. Our differences have grown at this point of time. Nothing else has happened here. Everyone, any query in 1857, you have a minute. Then I'll move to the next. No, Bhavna, PYQs tomorrow. We will do all the PYQs tomorrow. We have to do last week's economic history, and then we'll have to do the PPTs today that we are doing. Socio-religious reform movements, all the questions we discussed last week. Tomorrow we will discuss the questions of economic history and 1857, the tribal and the peasant revolts, all that. Neil, guys, dekho, I don't have a problem in giving breaks. But the more, the lesser you make the time for me, the problem it is that somewhere I'll have to cut. I don't want to give even 1% less knowledge to you people. That's the whole thing. The time is limited. We are provided a particular schedule. In that, I don't want that anything of yours should be missed. Dhanya, we said the biggest thing, the biggest challenge to the Britishers at this moment was nothing but Hindu-Muslim unity. And they wanted to stop it, or they wanted to destroy it now. Prajwal, at the end of the day, they both are what? They both are British. You have to understand the differences. They are not going to be, because we have studied, Prajwal, last week also. The third phase was the era of competition for colonies. Please, Prajwal and everyone, link the different chapters. Please remember, the third phase, financial phase, we said colonies. There was a competition for colonies. And that's why the new governor generals like Lytton, Curzon, Dufferin, they all were what? They all were reactionary, racist people at this point of time. Everyone, am I clear? All of you, am I clear with this whole thing? Any other query? I'll give you a 5-minute small break. Don't worry. Yes, I've been for 1 hour 36 minutes. I have taken this lecture. 5-minute small break I will give you, and then 20 more minutes we will go on. Please don't leave right now, because please let me go back to that point. Our next chapter. Yes, Sachin, you can say that. See, after the break, I will start this particular chapter. Very, very factual. And I want you people to be in this class, because I will show you very important thing here, what you should remember and what you should leave. Most of the times the student come to me for this chapter saying that, sir, बहुत बड़ा chapter, it's a very big chapter, what all should we remember, what all should we ignore, we don't have any idea. No issues, guys. Please see, the time is exactly 5:17. Just 5 minutes break. Relax, and then I'll start slightly. I'll give you the introduction, and then at 6 o'clock we will start it in a big manner. 5 minutes small break. Hello, everyone. Audible? Everyone, am I audible? Okay, great. Please see our next chapter, Tribal and the Peasant Revolts. Tribal Revolts has given us questions in 2018, 2019, 2020. 18 and 20 was prelims, and 19 was a mains question. 18, the question came on Santhal Rebellion. 20, the question came on Munda Rebellion. And 19, the question was basically about pre-1857 revolts. That was the basic question. I'll show you tomorrow. Anyways, don't worry about that. I will be showing to you. Peasant revolts has given us 2013 prelims questions on Tibhaga. And 1 year, I think, I'm not sure about the year. I think 2019, there was one question on Indigo. 1 point of one question was on the Indigo Rebellion. Am I clear here? Everyone, am I clear? So if you see here, basically we have just now studied the big revolt of 1857. But then 1857 was a very, very big revolt. Apart from that also, there were many revolts which you can categorize in different. For example, I have written here only the two, tribal and the peasant. But if you want, you can take it further also. For example, see here. All the uprisings we can put under the various, subheadings. I mentioned this. Let me change the pen color. I mentioned this. This we will study in the biggest manner. Very, very important. All of you, for this chapter, tribal revolts, your Bipin Chandra has not covered anything, has not written any one thing. So for this, please go in your class 8 NCRT and study a 10-page small chapter on tribal revolts. That's more than sufficient. Or else, if you don't want to go in any book, you don't want to do the whole book on your own manner also, if you will go on the app, the tablet lectures, I have covered this NCRT chapters also separately, apart from this. So you can listen to 1 hour lecture over there. The whole NCRT is also covered there. Am I clear to everyone? Similarly, peasant revolts. Again, in the class, all the peasant revolts I will do for you people in 5W formats. I will make the notes and I will prepare this thing for you. Military revolts. Sometimes the military also revolted, and here we would see one example of that. 1806, Vellore mutiny happened. Vellore, it's a place in Tamil Nadu. Apart from that, there were some political religious movements like Sannyasi uprising, Fakir uprising. These took place in 1770s onwards. That we have to see in this chapter. Sometimes the rulers, the zamindars, were removed and their successors, they led the revolt. So we will talk about Veluthampi, Poligar, and finally, sometimes the dependent of the deposed rulers, they led this particular revolt. So now, please understand, these two are very, very close. Either you separate them or put it under one only. You can keep them as the movements by the deposed rulers or their dependents. If you want further, this thing, so this would become from 6 to 5. Industrial workers, about them, Sachin, we don't study, except for Ahmedabad mill strike, where Gandhiji was involved. Revolt, they have not done. Protest, yes, they have done. There are many protests done by them also at this point of time. Now, see, I will tell you when I'm showing you this chapter, don't worry, don't ask the question, Rajesh, but I will show you all the tribal revolts. They would be basically classified under two categories. They would either be called mainland tribal revolts or they would be called frontier tribal revolts. I will show you this. Mainland tribal revolts are those which happened, let's say, in Jharkhand, present day Chota Nagpur region. Similarly, in the central India, in, let's say, these areas. And frontier tribal revolts, let me take this. Frontier tribal revolts are those which happen in the northeastern side. Those revolts which happen in northeastern side, they are called the your frontier. Frontier comes from which word? Front, boundary. So near the boundary of our country, the revolts which happened in the northeastern area, they are called the frontier revolts, like Ahom revolts, Khasi uprisings. These are called your frontier revolts. Am I clear? Everyone, those who were Rajesh, am I clear with your doubts that the tribal movements can be categorized into two types, either mainland or frontier? Everyone, am I clear with the mainland and frontier tribal movement concept? Frontier, those which happen on the boundary of the country, near the front, boundary, border. These are basically the northeastern tribal. See, either today only I will show you. I have brought a list. I'm not sure which slide. We are 117. It would be somewhere. See here. I have brought this list. So you can see tribal movements of the frontier region. So Aham revolt, as I told you, happened in Assam. Why? Because people were unhappy. The Britishers have not, fulfilled the promises that they'd made. Now, my simple question to you all is, everyone listen to me very carefully. Let's say there are hundreds of such revolts that took place in our country in those days. You people, do you think you will be able to remember every revolt, the year, the place, and even the causes? All of you think about this. Logically think. See, I've been teaching now for 10 years, more than 10 years. Before that, I was preparing. Trust me, it is virtually impossible. And Sneha, that's Manipur conflict is not a frontier revolt, but then just giving you an idea. See here, cookies. Anyone from Manipur here? I don't think Manipur people would be able to access the lectures right now. Anyone from Northeast here? I think one person was there last week and I saw that person joining a few minutes back. No one. Guys, Manipur people, I don't think the students, they are able to right now even access the internet. Choin, please check from your side. So you can see cookies, they are one of the tribes in the Manipur side. You will see presently that they are one of the people who are fighting. So I will, after the break, when I come back at 6 p.m., I would invariably tell you what you should remember, what you should leave in this. So don't worry about that. Last 7 minutes we have left. Please understand, any query that you have about 1857 revolt, you can ask me on call. Right now, I have not started the uprising except for I have given you the introduction. Once I come back after the break, I will start with this sannyasi uprising. Once I come back after the break. Those who are going for the break now, please understand your break is from 5:40 till 6 p.m. Go have your evening snack, samosa, or whatever you want to eat. Rest. Anyone having any question, I'm opening the live calls.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Gaurav. Tell me.
Sir, my question is that you had not discussed the 1857 revolt leaders like Rao Tularam and Raja Nahar Singh of
See, some of these
Haryana.
names we don't discuss. See, the thing is, there are many leaders, but we only look after the most important leaders. For example, Tularam, he was leading this revolt in the areas of Haryana. He was a Ahir king. But there are so many. Gaurav, you are from which place?
Haryana.
I knew it. No, I'm nothing against you, man. What happens is now that if I was there in Jaipur, people told me, why are you not discussing that? There are so many names in the revolt. But if you look in your Bipin Chandra or if you look in Spectrum, the names which are mentioned, we are discussing all those prominent names. Some we cannot discuss because there would be hundreds of leaders. I know there are leaders from Chhattisgarh, there are from Rajasthan, there are from Haryana, but then we are discussing only the most important names. That's the only thing. Nothing against these great fighters. And for your Haryana services and all, you should have the knowledge. Anyways, you would have this knowledge for your UPSC also.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav. Anyone, any other query? Hi, Lovepreet. Lovepreet, I'm not able to listen to you. Lovepreet, hello. 6. Anyone, any query, any questions, please?
Hello.
Yeah, Gaurav.
Sir, I have another doubt also. Sir, my
Ask me.
doubt is that since in spite of B.S. Jafar, Bahadur Shah Jafar, we have not another leadership. So what is your sir? Sir, you had tell that there is lack of leadership in 1857 revolt. But sir, what is the option in spite of B.S. Jafar?
Where is the option?
Yes, sir.
Gaurav, I could not understand your question. If whatever I understood, based on that, I'm answering you. Lack of leadership, when I say Bahadur Shah Zafar was not that strong a leader. You need a very strong leader if you are wanting to do such a revolt. The problem, the fact being, he was in constant conversation, talks with the Britishers, which undermined his own authority at this point of time. That's the thing.
Okay.
Done, Gaurav. Let's take the question of Karan now.
Sir, what is the 5 is to 2 ratio in Bombay and Madras? Kindly explain.
Karan, 5 is to 2, 2 is to 1. So in Bombay and Madras, for every 10 Indian soldiers, now there will be 4 British. Whereas in Bengal, every 10 Indian soldier, there will be 5 British. That means because Bengal army constantly revolted, that's why their number was increased. The British officers, their number was increased in Bengal. Whereas in Madras and Bombay, because they did not revolt, their number was kept slightly lesser. That is the ratio.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Karan. Okay, go for the break. Exactly 5:40 to 6, 20 minutes break. Enjoy. Let's come back after that.